We will start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good, very good. Welcome. It's just the guys tonight, apparently. At least not everyone's on vacation, Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown is not on vacation, which should probably happen at some point. Any modifications to the agenda?
Nothing I'm aware of.
Okay. And I would note that Kara Johnson, the ward clerk, is indeed on vacation somewhere. I think probably slightly warmer than where we are right here. If I could, I would, if we could have a motion just to appoint Doreen Bowles as district clerk.
Gentry so moves. Second.
All in favor? That's everyone. There you go, Doreen. Doreen sent me an email and said I had to do that, so
She's always using control even before.
Doreen wanted to make sure that she was doing everything that she should. Public and staff, I don't have a chart. Anyone wish to speak? Oh, feel free.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Dorothy Cholene. I've spoken with Mr. Inslee times regarding insurance issues. And, perking up over there, I see. I graduated from high school 49 years ago, and both my daughters have, and I was a very involved parent. And I have enjoyed planning many of my class's high school reunions over the years. And just 4 years ago, when we had our 45th, we enjoyed a wonderful tour of the building, and were able to sparkle at all the new exciting things that have been going on. And others have done the same since then, and I don't know if before or not. I think that kind of started, I don't know. My issue is that the insurance requirement for our reunion groups that have recently been required to pay. My daughter's reunion planned only for this year, and at the end of this week, just discovered they were unable to have a tour because they hadn't budgeted for, they had no idea, they hadn't budgeted for having to come up with, $300 to $500 that an insurance would cost. And this will be true for every reunion group as far as I understand, which is why I'm here to point this issue out. For our 50th class, I planned on having lunch at the high school. I've spoken with Denise. We have all kinds of exciting not old, but retro food to have. And I thought it would be fun for us to sit with our fellow elementary school classmates at the high school at the reunion and get a chance to get together. That was fun last time. We thought we'd use the choir in the band room to have like a reunion choir and band. We thought of using some of the current high school students to come join us, to kind of skip the ages. And we thought of setting up a panel for those who lived overseas or had some political ideas or just some interesting facts that we could, incorporate and share with each other. And we'd also like to have a panel of the current high school students and the principal and the superintendent to come and explain, just give us an idea of what the high school is like now for those of us that haven't kept up with what's going on in the school district. And that'll take a while. And I wanted to use the school as a focus for our 50th reunion, as high school is the reason, I think the high school is the reason we came together. It isn't the high school, it isn't a reunion of the country club or, the whatever else that people have these reunions at. It's because we are high school people, is why we're here together. And to highlight our school and the lives of the alumni and to render positive relationships with the school community. That was part of what a reunion is. The astounding improvements and upgrades are so impressive and would so inspire our classmates and those before and after us to be proud of our school and want to give back into the community. It is my understanding that many public events, meetings, concerts, and open houses, etc. have taken place under the umbrella of IHS without requiring an extra insurance policy for the building usage. I may be wrong, but this is my understanding. So therefore, it is the purpose of my coming here this evening is to request that the insurance requirement be waived to allow the graduates of Ithaca High School to be able to use the buildings for purposes of their reunion. Or to be able to place our reunion events under the umbrella of, say, Fee Nuns organization. And I have spoken with him about this. The money required for insurance would be better spent on a gift to the high school or to Fee's organization to help our students in the future. And as graduates, and as we are the graduates of the future, positive community relations should begin with our own graduate community. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Anyone else?
What constitutes retro food?
Hey, Sloppy Joe's.
Okay.
Start there.
Fish sticks.
Donuts. Huh?
Fish sticks.
Already, I see those
yeah.
fish sticks. And, well, the old standby tomato soup and cream tin, grilled cheese.
Spanish rice.
See, I gotta write these. Please get this down.
I'm an Ithaca High guy, you know that. So
Yeah. Well, we hope to be able to do this, but if we have to come up with that extra money, it's just, anyway, that's my goal to see if we can straighten this out and make the high school available for all reunions. So thank you.
And
You have your questions,
don't
sir?
leave yet.
Yeah.
Jay?
So, some information, I've been down this road a bunch of times because my wife's the head of the
Oh,
Alumni
I know.
Association.
Yeah,
Did we talk about this? You and I?
not
Okay.
directly.
The reason I have to ask is that I've had this conversation with about, I don't know, 7 or 8 different class organizers of their reunions. And there's ways to meet the insurance requirement that some that have no expense and some that might have some. But some of it, as I've experienced this, is depends on what it is that the class want, the class is coming back, the reunion class wants to do. And some people have called and just wanted to walk through the
Right.
facilities.
And they couldn't.
Well, I hope that that hasn't happened, because I hope that they've called, well, it might depend who they call.
It's happening at the end of this week, my daughter's reunion, and they couldn't do it.
And so, I would like to think, and
Okay.
anyone here can correct me if I'm wrong, that if they get a hold of the right person in the buildings, at the schools, there shouldn't be a problem to walk through. But, so I'll leave that, but let's go to the other extreme. I've had people call and they want to have a meal
Right.
in the cafeteria.
Right.
Well, you've moved into a more involved and complicated area. When you have a meal, who's serving it? You've got garbage, you've got custodians, and so you've moved from just that walk-through situation, and then to maybe have some program and whatnot and so on.
Using the building.
Right. Well, you begin to use, so if you're going to use the building, we do have policies about building use and the need for insurance. If you want to walk through, which a lot of classes, I don't see an insurance requirement needing.
They
These
were
are
told
public
that,
buildings.
they were told that they had to. That's why I was so astounded.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know who should she call them, because they were expected to do it this weekend, and they just found out they
If you
couldn't.
can call my office tomorrow.
All right.
The right person.
There you go.
A walkthrough's not a building use. You're.
Well, that's what we were so
We give a better
surprised.
contact person to the superintendent as well.
But I'm just trying to move.
And so there is let me just finish up. The Alumni Association, there's IPI, but an individual, if they want to, if you among your returning classmates can find someone who's willing to put their name on it, they can get from their house insurance the necessary documentation for no cost to come onto the premises. They can get that. It's a certificate of insurance is what our business office is looking for. And a homeowner with their insurance. This is what happens if your child gets married and they're going to rent a pavilion at a state park.
It's an umbrella policy.
It's an
You don't
umbrella
need that.
policy. Right. You may not have that. All you do is find in your group one person who's willing to sign our building use form and call their insurance agent and get that piece of paper, which there's no charge for, because they already have the coverage. They're just getting a piece of paper that's a document representing they have that coverage, and send it to the business office. And so that person becomes the official designee of your class for
Well,
that.
Steve Nunn said he would put it under his organization. I guess my question, there are ways to get around it perhaps. My question is, why aren't we covered by the school's insurance since we are a school organization? That's my bottom question.
I think you're an impromptu, unofficial organization. A group of, what kind of, do you have president, do you have bylaws, do you have,
But we're high school graduates. We're here because we are a high school group. We're not just a group coming from the outside.
No,
You're the
I think we get that. And most of the things that we do, particularly on school use, and I think the phrase, if I'm not mistaken, is bona fide public school student. So I understand what you're saying to us, but at least in terms of the way in which we talk about school use, that's the phrase that oftentimes gets used. Particularly we're talking about students who are not bona fide public school students. So it's not just about alum, it's also about charter school students, it's also about homeschool students, right? So that becomes a question. I think I would follow Mr. True's idea, or, I mean, I'm interested just in the idea of it, what it means for the main reason you're talking about in terms of community, in terms of building relationships between students.
Yeah.
But there may be some other creative ways to go around as opposed to policy-wise. But the policy committee, at the very least, we can take a look at it and see if there's anything that comes up, and someone can get back to you. I would say within a month, because that's how long things take.
I know. Well, does anybody have an objection if these organization is willing to be our umbrella?
I don't know how that can happen.
What organization is that?
I don't even think we understand what that means.
So you got some
He's a
separate corporation?
corporation. Yeah, he has an office in the high school.
It's not a separate corporation.
Well, no, it's not a corporation, but he's a high school sponsored activity. His organization,
Again,
okay,
that's
what
not
do you
for
think it is?
students, but he's doing.
What do you think?
we're,
Mike?
Give me a minute.
I'm trying to understand what organization you're referring to.
B Nuns co-curricular.
That's a school organization.
Right.
That's a school
I think,
Students,
for students.
enrolled
Yeah,
students.
what we're saying is we don't see how that would be able to happen because the school organization can't take under its wing an outside organization.
Even though we would incorporate students into our activity.
Well, you're talking about turning it into an educational program.
Yes, and then we would also, we
Right.
would if there was good enough, community relations, we would be mentors.
Well, that's a different.
Mentors, we would be,
We should talk about
we
it.
could have career
And doing
ties.
this by Friday isn't gonna happen.
No, no.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
They just want the tour.
No.
If
Right,
the
there's two
tour is no
separate-
problem, that would help this Friday immensely. We've got a year for the other thing, not that I should tell you that. but-
Well, I think you've been told a couple of quick options to do it for free, so.
Well,
I would definitely look into that, and we can pursue this further. Probably don't have the solution right now.
no, I didn't expect you to.
No, but we appreciate you bringing it up, because we have been going back and forth on emails over past.
Right. And it just seems like there should be a way to, maybe how do other districts, maybe they don't either, I don't know. Incorporate their alumni into the situation.
That's what I'm
The
not sure.
Alumni Association, first of all, I don't understand why they don't have insurance for alumni groups. That's my first issue.
how about I make sure if I get your information contact from Mr. Ainsley, that I can send to you and invite you to the policy committee. And this is some of these questions we can hash out there if you're interested. Or at least you can write them to me in email and I'll try to find the answers to them, if that works.
Sure.
Right, and we appreciate you coming forward.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
That's good, yeah.
Anyone else? So I think we had some board responses, correct? Anything else? I think we can move forward. And we shall. And I'm looking at the consent agenda.
I'm gonna absent myself into the room, and I want that shown in the minutes, please. Thank you.
Brad's out wandering around. We do need a motion.
I motion.
You motion.
Chris, if you can move it, that would be great.
Consent agenda?
Chris
Must have
moves.
his daughter on there again, I guess.
Yes.
I didn't look.
You know,
I know.
I'll second the consent agenda, please.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead, Sean.
Brief in the minutes, it's a small thing, but there's no hyphen in Eversley Bradwell. So fix those in the notes, that'd be great.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's an issue that we've got. Oh, there's a little person. And anything else regarding the consent?
We haven't voted, Brad. You're too quick.
No, we reviewed in finance yesterday. Finance committee did meet. Several board members were there beyond the committee. And if there's no other questions, all in favor? That's everyone in here minus Brad, who recused himself outside. Brad, you can come back in. All right, very good. And Dr. Brown, I think we're ready for you. And within that consent agenda, Dr. Brown, there was a fairly long personnel report.
Oh, yes.
You may wish to speak to it.
I'm looking forward to speaking to it. As you know, our Quest for Excellence, a major step for that is getting the right people on the bus and in the right seats on the bus. And as I look around the room tonight, I see some outstanding and talented individuals. folks who've been with us for a long time is Judy Hawkins, Denise Gotti, Adam, some folks who are here and is already doing the excellent work that we expect. Some new faces, Dr. Guillory is here, the new principal at BJM is the new audience, with his sunshade coming from Houston, Texas. I see, you see now Mr. Matt Landau is with us also. So some new faces who are here already contributing to excellence. But tonight I wish to speak about some appointments that you just approved, and I'm so excited that you approved them because this, in many ways, completes the team, and we're looking forward to the year getting started. I'll begin with this position, the Chief Secondary Officer, a key role for us, a new position, a key role for us to produce excellence in our secondary schools, collaborate with the elementary schools, create a unified program, and just overall excellence for the organization. I'm happy to recommend, and you have approved, a person who's been in the organization for 20 years and has been a tenured social studies teacher, a boys track coach, an assistant principal, and most recently a principal at Boynton Middle School. I'm happy and excited to be working with Mr. Jason Trumbull as our new Chief Secondary Officer. Jason is we're excited about Jason being here. And really excited about him being in this secondary role in which he will have some oversight for Boynton Middle School. So I know the folks at home are listening about and wondering what's going to happen at Boynton, and we're happy to say Boynton's going to be in very good hands going forward. We're going to appoint an interim principal there, another person who's been in the organization for 20 plus years as a teacher and as an administrator, a person who's done multiple leadership roles over the many years she's been here, and most recently has been an associate principal at Lehman Alternative Community School. And she's not here tonight because she's traveling and on vacation, but when she gets back, I think she's already doing a lot of work, but when she gets back, she's going to hit the ground running. We're appointing, naming as an interim principal at Boynton, Miss Diane Carruthers. So we're excited about her taking on that role. She's stepped up to take that challenge. So Diane's going to be the interim principal at Boynton, working closely with Jason during the transition. The Chief Excellence Officer role, we're going to do an interim appointment right now and continue to look, but right now we have someone we're very excited about taking on responsibilities of that excellence officer. So all things professional development, all things special education, working very closely with the Chief Elementary Officer and the Chief Secondary Officer. A key role for us, someone we know needed some deep connections to the work, a deep understanding of the work, and someone who could be in front of any group and make people feel good about the work. And we've asked that person to do the person we're appointing have done that job many different times for our organization and many other organizations. We're asking Ms. Earlene Carr to be the interim Chief Excellence Officer for us, and she has accepted yet again. and another person who was in here today unofficially already getting the work done, and she's been helpful, and I'm just so excited to have her many years of experiences. You see, I didn't say how many years of experiences you have here, but many years of experiences doing the work that we're asking her to do from the Chief Excellence Officer role. Thank you, Ms. Ray. And the board, when building these world-class facilities, you've tasked us to produce world-class programs in these facilities. We know we have one of the best athletics and wellness centers in the country for K-12, period. And you've asked us to bring someone, a thinker, an innovator, and someone with a work ethic to make that place come alive. Fortunately, this person had done a little bit of that work for us already through the grand opening process, and I'm continuing to hear from folks how amazed they were with that ceremony and what happened during that process. And some of the programs that are already happening in our wellness center have happened because this person worked with us on a bit of a part-time consultative basis before. Going through a process, other folks, including myself, saw her as the best person to do the job of wellness and athletics officer, and take our athletics and wellness program to new heights, to create programs, to innovate in ways. I'm so happy, and she has a beautiful family here with us tonight, so I'm so happy to see them all here. You've approved our recommendation of Ms. Daniela Roche to be our athletics and wellness officer. Thank you, Daniela. So just now, I'm ready to take that day off now because the bus is ready to roll. We have some of the best thinkers I've had a chance to be around. Period, ever, and they're here and they're all eager to go and to do the work that you're expecting of us and our community is expecting of us. And we're ready to start tomorrow and get going on some things. So thank you for your support, and we're looking forward to getting the work done for you. That's all I have tonight. That's enough?
So nothing going on, Dr. Brown, I guess. So I guess we will continue. So Congratulations, Dr. Brown. Congratulations, everyone. And we'll just go on to school district business, and we'll probably wrap this up fairly quickly.
I'll move the appointment of the district DASA coordinators as presented in the agenda.
I will second that.
Second by the Alderman. Do we need to speak to this at all, other than required by DASA rules and regs to have coordinators in each building? So,
Or you can
right. Or
Yeah,
does it
there's
need-
line AG.
So, all in favor? That's everyone? That's everyone's dream? And really, item B, and the last item of business under school district business is the Safe Schools update. And Judy Hoffman.
So, thank you once again for inviting me to talk, and your interest in our district-wide safety planning and the implementation of the state legislation. So I'm just going to really briefly highlight some of the key points of the annual review that hopefully all of you got a copy of. Starting with, as I've said before, how fortunate that I feel that we have such a great district-wide committee. Judy Maxwell isn't here, but she served on the committee for several years. We have a cross-section of people from outside the community responders, parents, and then people within the district, administrators, teachers. So again, the work of a lot of people go into trying to move forward our safety planning year after year. And you know, I've been involved with this now for several years myself in facilitating the process, and I really see us making big improvements in how we're doing it this year. We made significant improvements in our lockdown drills. That was the main focus that we put into place, changing the lockdown drills involving law enforcement. Schools took it really seriously. They collaborated with law enforcement, and there were lots of good things that came out of that through the collaboration and identifying things that needed to be addressed, DA systems, other things, and then those things were taken care of. So I think that that was very productive this year as well. We have, so some of the things that we did was to address PA systems that weren't functioning, reminders about the procedures. People were really more aware and, as I said, took it seriously about what the process was. I had received good feedback from students on the school board saying that in some buildings or in some classrooms it wasn't taken that seriously. So the fact that we got that feedback and then could turn around and really make the changes necessary for people to understand the importance and take it seriously, and I think that really did pay off as well. We had a tabletop drill at the bus garage, so we're continuing to look at trainings. We're really looking, I'm trying to look at providing, because there's more and more mandated trainings through our concussion policy, the DASA policy, through all of those things, so trying through Safe Schools as well to have online webinar trainings. I've spoken with Tim Moon, and he's also spoken about some planning that the superintendent is putting into place. So we will continue looking at those trainings, which I think are very productive. The bus driver training that we did at the bus garage around a bus accident was really useful, and all of the bus drivers were there and everybody interacted. So that was very productive as well. I provided in the outline 3 brief summaries of 3 incidents that happened at the high school, and how through those incidents we improved our collaboration with law enforcement, with staff in the district responding to emergencies at the high school. One of the earlier incidents, there was a concern about being able to hold classes without calling a full lockdown, that there wasn't that process in place, and through an incident in the debriefing, we have now not only developed a process, but also unfortunately used that process, but it was helpful, and so we were able to hold students in classes and not have a full lockdown and respond to an emergency situation. And then the other thing that was started in, I think, more directly related to Safe Schools was the community forums, and having a community forum addressing and including Safe Schools. And the principal of the high school was there, Dr. Myers was there, and there was a lot of good interaction and feedback and response about what our planning is, feedback from the community. So we want to continue that as well. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that we realize, and we've been saying this, but I need to make a concerted effort of including training for our substitute teachers. So when we have these drills and when we have whatever other process are in place, that the substitute teachers are also informed. So I've contacted the president of the Substitute Teacher Association, and we're going to work on getting that put in place as well. So I think that's, and then at the end of the annual report, I also talk about our future planning and recommendations. I've highlighted some of them already. We will be incorporating the anti-bullying information into this plan as well, which is part of the SAVE legislation. And one of the things that have been suggested is really developing a budget for this, because we don't have a budget. So if issues come up, one of the main issues that we continue to talk about is getting radios throughout the district for improving the communication. And there's no budget specified for this, so that has been a recommendation and a suggestion, which we included in the report. I think that's all I have to mention. I don't know if anybody has questions for me.
Questions?
Radios of what kind?
So I know LICS in particular has been, some of the principals have looked at using some of their money, I don't know, discretionary money or whatever, to purchase their radios and worked with Margaret.
What kind? I'm not understanding
So-
what you want in the way of radio.
So the radios at the
Two-way, what are you trying to?
No, they're not. Are they two-way radios?
Yeah, two
Okay.
like CBs.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is one way,
Is that what they are so they have multiple,
And now with all the buildings are wireless.
Frequencies.
yeah,
Why can't we use that?
Or what the
they have
APs
multiple,
carry with them.
right, they have multiple channels.
Right, the principals, APs carry with them
Okay.
throughout the day.
I'm spending $1 million in the area of wireless. Why can't I use that as a basis for radio, for communication? Probably could.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Well, we're wiring all the buildings for wireless. Why wouldn't I tie into that rather than buy something else?
What happens when that goes out, particularly during a crisis?
Okay.
Yeah, security.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's the way to go about it. I think that, my understanding is, particularly some places with larger campuses have been trying to figure out how they stay in contact with one another, right? And so
Right.
some of the things that we had happen this year, particularly at the high school, have made us realize that how important that communication is. And part of the reason why I asked you to come to give us an update on the Safe School plans, that every year we have, if you recall, I've only been on the board for 3 years, but every year there's some major incident that takes place in one of our buildings or on a field trip that we learn things from. And I think it's good for the board to hear how those conversations take place, and then what might be the funding implications of, and I know Jared in particular has been talking about the fact that the system there is still not smooth at the high school for each classroom, right?
Right, so he had spoken with me earlier today and said, for his building right now, he feels the main issues are really making sure that there is communication through the PA system throughout his building, which, is being worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing he said is having keys so that someone can have a key to unlock every door in the building. So he thought keys and PAs were his major.
He's mentioned keys.
We've heard that. We keep hearing the keys, right?
For those 122 doors.
That's right. Work on that.
So no, I do appreciate your feedback and support on helping this.
And the report Judy referenced, do we have that?
Yeah, I believe it was put in last meeting's Dropbox, but if not, we'll find a way to make sure it gets in the appropriate.
Yeah, I'm not sure I saw it in my little electronic device that I don't seem to have today.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll throw it.
I will definitely do that. I'll send it electronically.
That would have been what meeting?
Oh.
Maybe a couple, what? It was a big reorganization meeting on the 2nd.
Yeah, we'll make a copy.
So I think if we're having that much trouble finding it, I think it's probably just good to shoot.
Just resend it.
I don't think it was downloaded onto our.
I don't think it was.
My iPad, Dr. Brown, not that little electronic device that I just referenced. Okay, all right. So Dr. Brown's laughing at me. Anything else for Judy? Judy, we appreciate you coming tonight and all that you do.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
And that's, you know, instead of looking for other things to do to take up our time, I think that's probably all the school district business that we're going to do tonight. Is there any other business by board members that we need to bring up? Go ahead, Sean.
Just the policy committee has set its regular dates for the second Thursday of the month, and now that we have DASA done other stuff, I think I keep warning the board that we'll be coming to you with a full policy review during the school year, from the 100 series through the 9,000 series. Gear up.
Sweet. And policy bumped finance, really
Finance.
just demonstrating the power of policy
Exactly.
and of that
I
committee.
know how to flex a little bit every now and then.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Finance and Facilities is going to be the Monday prior to the second voting meeting of each month. What?
Doreen doesn't want to be the interim board clerk.
I could tell. The Monday prior to the second voting meeting of each month at 6 o'clock.
6, yeah.
At 6, that's what we agreed to.
Just in time for Monday Night Football.
Might stop in.
Those are long
Has
meetings.
HR
So,
set a time?
No. HR is yet to set a time. We are welcoming a new member. We have to figure out what works for folks. I see Bob's conveniently slipped out of the room. We will be back to the group about what our meeting schedule will be.
And anything else? And I'll only come back to Danielle. Danielle, great that you're here. Great that we're going to get started. I will only point out, Danielle, that the first U.S. athlete that qualified for the Olympic Games, well, for the London Games, was Alex Meyer, who is an Ithaca high grad, open water swim. And so Alex will be at the Olympic Games along with several other area athletes, rowers, and a few others. And also Saturday at 9 o'clock, Joe Maresca Stadium, the Stanley Cup will be in town, and Dustin Brown, an Ithaca High student of a few years ago, will be bringing, as captain of the LA Kings, will be bringing the Stanley Cup to town. So when Dr. Brown talks about excellence, I think we have examples of that that occur fairly often, so that we're looking forward to more excellence coming. But Dustin Brown will be here at like noon to, well, 9 to noon, sorry. There will be a fundraiser basically for the Semper Fi Fund. Semper Fi Fund. Community, I'm sure, will be out in force to get autographs and pictures, but the proceeds of that do go to the Semper Fi Fund, and we certainly have local ties to that with the award-winning family. So anyone and everyone who's come out and see the Stanley Cup, not often that it comes to Ithaca. It has been here before with Joey Newendike a few years ago, but and we'll stop with hockey because I think we're not going to go with that.
Can I speak?
Oh, of course.
I just wanted to say that although it's kind of quiet, it's summer, it's July, not all teachers are on the beach or out boating. There's a lot of work happening, both being seen here within the buildings in the district, but also, at home, teachers are having things and they're doing things. There's stuff going on at DeWitt, there's stuff going on at the high school, academic prep for math for the regions going on. Many teachers are at Cornell doing biology, professional development. There's many teachers at the Seven Valleys Writing Project, which I think is a week-long, intense professional development. That's ongoing. Teachers are already researching and getting some information about national board certification. They're doing that on their own time this summer. Curriculum work, elementary reading assessments happening. Teachers are being trained and taking the materials home and reviewing that to get ready for day one. There's a new teacher design team meeting weekly already to help Karen Keller design a new teacher orientation and mentoring program this year. Many teachers volunteering their time to do screening and interviews, which is a lot more intense than it has been in the past. It takes up a whole day for interviewing, takes up 2 days for screening. That's ongoing. And as soon as classroom teachers get word that their rooms are ready, they're starting to head back in their rooms to set up. So just want you to know that even though it's quiet, we're working, and it's going to be a challenging year with all the stuff that's going to happen. I'm glad Arlene and I already have a relationship as somebody who I'm assuming will oversee professional development. We've got some APPR conversations to have. So I'm glad we already know each other because we can just start talking about that. There's a lot of questions. So, right, we're just looking forward to the rest of the summer and getting ready for the first day.
Thanks, Adam. Anyone else?
I just want to say to Adam, when we try to set a date for the HR meetings, you, of course, will be advised, and we hope that we see you there.
Yes, I will. I'm on the calendar.
All right, we're good?
I'll move adjournment.
I second.
Without objection. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.